people are turning on Brad a little bit, and I'm of the idea that it's more Danny's fault than Brad's fault.
Well, Danny said that. Danny's not running from that.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, I think when you look at the things that people complained about with Brad, it was stuff like the 2 big lineup, which has played pretty well in February. And like, that was what he was trying to do. He was trying to establish that. And he said the other day, like, yeah, they struggled, but if you look at our record, we won games during that stretch. So it was, like that ended up working out okay. Or you look at, like people like to rip on his rotations, and it's like, okay, but like, the rotations that he's working with now aren't working. Like he's trying to find things that work. So yeah, I mean, look, like I don't think he's had like a perfect season, but I think that the people who are just screaming like fire Brad, fire Brad, fire Brad, like one, what do you want Brad to be doing right now? Like he's playing his best players as much as he, physically can. And 2, like who do you want to replace him?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sure, like you can point to other coaches around the league and be like, well, that guy's doing this and it's really good. Or, Eric Spoelstra's doing this and it's really good. Or Quinn Snyder's doing this and it's really good. But like, I mean, like Brad's defense until this year, pretty much every single year, the Celtics are a great defensive team under Brad Stevens. I mean, like I don't know what's happening right now, but like, it feels unlikely to me that there is somebody out there, that there's a coach out there who is going to be, exponentially better than Brad and is going to somehow turn this group into a contender, as opposed to what Brad is doing. Like, I think that the calls to fire him are 1, a little premature, and 2, like just not going to happen. Like, you guys might as well save your energy. Cause like Danny's made it pretty clear that Brad isn't going anywhere, and he just signed an extension. So I don't think Brad Stevens is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Evan and I agree with you on that, and don't believe he should be going anywhere, which is an important distinction. It's one thing to say he should go, but he won't go. We don't believe he should go. So, you don't have to preach to us on that. That's for sure. But I'm sure there are plenty of people out there listening that you do. But I mean, I don't know. I guess building off of that before we do let you go, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Gary Washburn wrote recently that, he believes, or I don't know if this came from a source or if this just is his own 2 eyes, but, he's of the mind that, maybe players are starting to tune Brad out a little bit. Are you seeing any of that? Is there a disconnect between the coaching staff and the players? Because if in fact that exists, then you do have a problem on your hands.
Of course. And especially again, because the biggest thing that you're trying to do right now is keep Jaylen and Jayson healthy. So if there is healthy too, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, both.
So like, yes, I mean, if that is a problem, then certainly you have to reconsider. And then I think, yeah, like if you're a smart franchise, then Brad's job would be in trouble. When you talk to the players and when the players talk, like Gary, I mean, Gary really knows, like Gary's been around the game for a long time. Like what he sees, there's probably something there. I don't think that's probably what's happening, just because I don't see the, like in the post-game press conferences, the players are generally like, this is something that, we need to fix. We need to have more energy. We need to do X, Y, or Z. Like, and not that they would explicitly call out the coach, but like, they aren't really leaving a lot of room for the coach to be blamed in their post-game comments. And maybe they're just like being smart with that stuff, because it's impossible to deny the larger point, which is that like this team is wildly, like, I don't know if they're underachieving or just not that good. Like whatever it is, like whatever the case is, they're 15-15 and people had higher expectations for, the team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But I mean, I don't know. Like, this is actually the most frustrating thing about this season as like a reporter, is that if I was in the locker room, I would feel like I had like a better sense of it, even though like players wouldn't just be like, hey, Tom, come here. Like, let me tell you why I think Brad Stevens sucks. Like, obviously that doesn't happen, but you're just like, you're around things a little bit more. You have a better feel for it. It's just
you would, as you're saying, you would have the ability to, if you have a better relationship with some guys than others, to, go up to them and say, like, hey, just off the record,
yeah,
you can't do any of that over Zoom calls.
Exactly. Like, yeah, the Celtics aren't about to let you just, hey, can I pull Tatum aside for just a second off the Zoom call? Like, no, that's not happening. So yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say right now. And all we have to look at is, what's happening on the court, which is not great. So something's going on. I don't know what it is, but whatever the case, like, to give a Brad Stevens type answer, I think everybody's got to be better. So.
Well, just, have some stones, Tom. The next time that you talk to Brown, just say, hey, I'm just wondering, are you guys tuning out the coach at all?
I believe I would have to go back and look. I believe somebody did get asked that, or no, that might have been Danny on the Toucher and Rich call. But yeah,
that makes sense. But that's a totally different format.
For sure. So yeah, man, it's it's tough to say, but whatever it is, something's gonna change real quick here. So.
No, and clearly I'm not expecting you to ask that question. I mean, that would go really well.